Hi, this is Dee at Aloha Astro. Let's take a look at today's full moon in Aries, October 20th, and it will be at 27 degrees 26 minutes of Aries at 10:57 a.m. Eastern Time. Full moon in Aries, Wednesday, October 20th, brings you the pressure of the cardinal T-square involving the moon in a self-aware and assertive fire sign, the sun conjunct Mars in the relationship-minded air sign of Libra, and Pluto in the serious earth sign of Capricorn. No matter what houses, areas of life, the planets in this T-square are visiting in your own natal chart, the issues of commitment, working toward a compromise, or upheaval and transformation between you and others will be addressed. Aries is an initiating sign of new beginnings, while a full moon signals a culmination. So there may be endings and new beginnings happening simultaneously and rather quickly in several areas of your life in the next few days, now that Pluto, Mercury, Saturn, and Jupiter have all come out of retrograde. Today you may feel like you are living through a trial by fire or are moving through a labor and birth process, so a bit frightened, messy, and uncomfortable. A Yod aspect pattern involving Uranus in Taurus, Mercury in Libra, and Jupiter in Sagittarius makes the prospect of a change in circumstances or relationships exciting. So whether you are moving further into a relationship or creating space in one, or entering or leaving a job or living situation, the feeling that things will work out for the best is the light shining on the dark intensity of the full moon and T-square. For every challenging aspect in the heavens now, there is a hopeful or helpful aspect to counterbalance it, so just breathe and push. The full moon places the emphasis on you, and Chiron in Aries opposing Mercury in Libra signals you must do more than just observe the feelings which the full moon activates for you. You must also share them, or at least write them, in order to heal yourself and bring balance to your relationships. Tempers could flare, and people may be rude or impatient, but don't add fuel to the fire. Use the social diplomacy of the Sun and Mercury in Libra to help you mind your manners. Let's take a look at how things look up in the sky. And after that, we'll look at the Sabian symbol. So here you can see that T-square with Pluto in Capricorn, Moon in Aries, and the Sun and Mars in Libra. And we've got a strong urge to be right, basically, is what a cardinal T-square is all about. And when you've got the opposition going on, two people are both probably wanting to be right. And then we have, I feel like the energy of Pluto in Capricorn is very much like the judge, the authority who's going to say, but this is the way it's going to be. Don't be surprised to find that there may be some triangulation going on in relationships as well, or if you can't resolve something between you and another party, that there has to be somebody outside of that who's going to be the ultimate decider, and whether everybody's going to be happy with it or somebody's going to be unhappy, or everybody to some extent is unhappy, there's still a process right now of intense pressure that's being brought to bear, and things probably are going to be revealed and exposed that have to be in order to come to some change. And change is what's ultimately going to come out of everything, because we do have Saturn in Aquarius and Jupiter in Aquarius, and they are very well aspected right now for the most part. We have a grand trine going on with Saturn in Aquarius, the North Node in Gemini, and Mercury in Libra, and that also directs all the energy of that grand trine toward the kite of Venus in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius rules the ninth house. Among the things that the ninth house is concerned with is a higher purpose or the truth of something. And Aquarius energy also seeks the truth, but it also wants to do what is going to be best to bring society as a whole forward. Things ultimately will get better, or the whole upheaval and crisis or drama that may be occurring with the T-square now is because it's time for growth and change in order for people to expand and grow and to be happier. So even if you're feeling like there's a lot of unhappiness going on at the moment for you, and maybe you don't want to give somebody or something up, or maybe you're the one who's been fired or dumped or are going through a hard time, ultimately there's a lot of positive forward motion and growth in the rest of the aspects going on. And you might not be able to see around that corner yet to see how much better things will be once you get past what is going on right now. So do keep the faith, and there is a nice aspect of being able to keep the faith or believe that there is something better that will come about in this quincunx here with Mars and the Sun to Neptune in spiritual Pisces. And we also have a nice quincunx here between Mercury in Libra and Uranus in Taurus. And we've got, that's the yod that I mentioned in the forecast, to Venus. So if, let's say, you're going through a breakup, you may run into the love of your life in the days ahead once you are free. Look for changes in relationship for the better, whether you're getting in them and going deeper or moving out of them. There can be positive changes. But if there's a distinct ending right now in your life, know that there is a better beginning just around the corner. All right, let's look at the Sabian symbol. And I read this and I'm like, whoa, doesn't sound wonderful. We'll just read it through and you can meditate upon it. Think about what it might mean for you. Aries, 28 degrees, because we round up. A large audience confronts the performer who disappointed its expectations. And as I mentioned with that T-square, not everybody's going to be happy. In fact, some people may be very unhappy right now with that full moon, or maybe all people involved may have a certain amount of displeasure or be discontent with everything that they are going through that is challenging. But, you know, when things are not working, we need to really face up to it and then make a change for the better. So this keynote says the necessity for mature preparation and self-criticism. And oh boy, with that cardinal T-square, there would be criticism and, you know, the mature energy of Pluto and Capricorn in there. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe with that T-square, we do have to get more mature and responsible and grow up and take responsibility for our words and our actions. We see the tangible results of the situation evoked by the two preceding symbols. Great hopes, excited expectations cannot be sustained. The last symbol reveals the performer's state of consciousness. In this one, he is actually made fully aware of having promised to the many elements of his own personality, as well as perhaps to other human beings, more than he was able to deliver. The issue is, how to handle this situation. In one form or another, it is an often recurring situation in the life of an individual person. The manner in which it is met determines the individual's future possibilities of development and achievement. And that's interesting. If maybe you didn't follow through on promises or commitments you made, and you now know the things you need to do in your next relationship to do it better, whether that relationship is romantic or business-wise. Libra seeks perfection, and Aries always looks at itself. So Pluto in Capricorn sitting there as the judge, whether somebody outside of you is judging you or you are judging yourself. This moment or culmination of the full moon may be giving you the opportunity to really look at things with a critical eye and then determine what needs to be done to make things better. This is the third stage of this fivefold sequence. What is implied here is the need to be more than obsessed by potentiality and subjectively involved in the use of the new powers. The objective results have to be considered, i.e., what this use will do. The individual is not alone concerned, for in a sense mankind as a whole will be affected. What is required, therefore, is an objective inclusiveness of the whole environment, thus a sense of responsibility for what one's actions will produce in people who have been made to expect significant results. An awful lot to consider in that Sabian symbol. Anyway, let's take one look back again at the chart and see if anything final comes up. As you are contemplating this full moon and spending time in examining yourself and your relationships and perhaps dealing with criticism or critical feelings and thoughts, judgments from either outside or within, do turn your mind toward that yod and its potential, and also the grand trine and the kite, which although are fading, can still have a strong effect on your fate or your destiny, and to turn your thoughts toward the positive, not in the kind of, denial that there's work to be done and challenging things that exist, or negativity. You can't repress your feelings. They do need to be expressed. But then you can also work on your words, your thoughts, and your actions and take a more positive path. Sometimes there is challenging stuff to go through, or things that are negative that have to be addressed, and the full moon will reveal them to you. Take care, stay safe, especially on the road, because there is a lot of impulsivity right now and the potential for rage and anger and acting out. So until next time, when we have a new moon come up 2 weeks from now, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.